So here we are, day 2 of my IG Live of 365. And so I'll give you a little bit of an update with my housing situation. A lot has come through in terms of like places to stay, places to sleep, and I'm just extremely grateful for this town. So grateful. And so I wanted to come on here because there's one thing I've been really working on these days, especially like the past few months, is my mindset. Hey Dars. And I was just watching like one of those like kind of feel good football movies on Netflix, and kind of made me think a little bit. When you are watching these movies, or when you're like looking at like athletes, they tend to go in before a big game with this very positive mindset, right? They go in and they're like, yeah, we're going to win, like, or, you know, like, we're going to do our very best. We're going to show up as our very best. And then whatever the outcome happens. And then they take away the lessons of, you know, like, what did we learn through this loss, or what did we learn through this win, and like celebrate the win. And you see this often in movies. Specifically, I haven't been much in like the background of like a sports team, so I wouldn't know so much, but I would assume that there is a little bit of that in real life as well. And so what if we just took that and we applied it into just our everyday life? I find our everyday life, we just focus so much on the negative, focus so much in the worst case scenario, or like the what if something goes wrong, instead of what if something goes right. And I just find it is so deeply ingrained in us, the negative, like the negative side of things, like everything that is like not working out, or like being somewhere like you're like, oh, well, I was hoping to be at this point in my life, but I'm not. And I'm like at this other point, you're not happy with that, because it's like, you want to be at that, you want to be already there. And so it's just, it makes me think that, you know, you are the creator of your own reality. You create what you want to see. So obviously, if you're going to be focusing on the negative, that is what is going to be shown to you. If you're always going to be thinking the worst case scenario, then that worst case scenario might actually turn out to be true. But what if you start playing a little bit in the positive? What if you start playing a little bit in the, like, what if this can work? What if there is something amazing for me out there? And so case in point with this housing situation. Yes, it was scary being in the situation I am. Yes, did I freak out? Did I stress out? Definitely. Did I cry? Totally. But I knew I was going to be okay, and I knew I was going to find something. And case in point, I had one friend reach out to me and be like, you can stay at my place for 2 nights. And then I had like other people say, you can have my couch. Another person was like, oh, there's this vacation rental that's like free for the night, and you can, you know, like, you can definitely stay there for the night. Just leave it as clean as possible. And so, hi Rania. And so those things come through. Did I find my permanent place yet? No, I haven't. But because I've shifted my mindset that I am going to be okay, and that I am supported by the universe, and that this is the reality I created, because I do know what I desire to get as a place, and I'm not going to settle for something that is not going to make me happy, which was like the 2 places that I did come across with in the past month for a potential place to live, and they were just a hard no. They were not in alignment with me whatsoever, and I wasn't going to take them just out of fear. And so kind of like proving my point is like, maybe like kind of, you know, if we all start thinking about like which areas in our life are we going to look at the worst case scenarios. Like, I know sometimes the unknown can be scary and we don't know where we're going or what we're doing, but if I had sat here and saying like, oh shit, I'm homeless, like worst case scenario, I'm gonna sleep in my car, then yeah, I would probably be sleeping in my car right now. But because I knew that I was gonna be supported, yes, I'm bouncing around a little bit, but it's okay. I have a roof over my head, I'm warm and I'm comfortable and I'm sleeping on a bed and I have a kitchen to cook my stuff. I have food, my stuff's in storage, I'm supported. I'm supported through and through. And, you know, even looking at, you know, so then when you look at like all the sports teams, like if all these sports teams went into every game and it was like, so worst case scenario, we're going to lose. Worst case scenario, we're not going to make that touchdown. Worst case scenario, do you think they'll ever like get the Super Bowl, or do you think they'll ever win like the, you know, Stanley Cup with that mentality? So why is it that we only look at it in one aspect of our lives? Why is it that we only look at it in terms of exercise and routine? Like, for example, you know, if you want to run a marathon, you're like, yeah, I'm going to run that marathon. I'm going to sign up for it. I'm going to start training. And then you have this positive mindset. But then when it comes to something as simple as like maybe money or housing, you're just like, no, worst case scenario. Things are going to happen the way they're meant to happen. And they're going to fall how they're meant to fall, whether it is like best case scenario or worst case scenario. There's always a lesson to learn, and there's always something to grow from it. There's always something to expand ourselves from it. And personally, I'll rather live my life looking at best case scenario, and even if the worst case scenario happens, looking at it as like, well, what is this teaching me, and what am I learning from this? I'll rather live my life that way in the positive mindset than looking at all the shitty things that can happen to me and then have those happen and still be like, oh, this sucks, my life sucks, and, you know, whatnot. And so, yeah, I just wanted to come and share that and just share it with you. It, like, kind of, this was something that kind of, like, came into my thoughts of, like, you know, why are we only, like, doing, you know, like, looking at the positive in one aspect of our lives, but not all the other ones. And so why not try and do all aspects and see how that shifts, see how it shifts, like where we look at gratitude and when we look at, you know, the life that we are living. So that was my little thought process for day 2 out of 365 that I wanted to share with you. And I am so happy for Darcy and Rania to join me live, and it's exciting. I'm curious to see who else is going to join me live during this 365 days live. It's kind of big. It's a big deal, but I'm going to do it. I can do it. I'm totally going to do it. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. By the way, this is a portal day, just to let you know. So it is, if you look at the numbers, it's 2/2/2022. So February 2nd, 2022, portal day. Enjoy the energy. The energy is like, it's pretty out there, but enjoy it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So thank you again. Bye.